There is just nothing worse than walking into your laundry room and seeing a washing machine full of gross, murky water that just refuses to go anywhere. And if your LG washer is blinking that little OE error at you, don't panic. Seriously, you've landed in the exact right spot. In this explainer, we are going to walk you through step by step how to get your machine back in business. Okay, let's get into it. So, this is probably the scene in your laundry room right now, am I right? A tub full of standing water and that dreaded two-letter code staring you in the face. Now, while the OE error is one of the most common things that happens to LG owners, here's the good news, and it's really good news. You can almost certainly fix this yourself. So, what does OE actually mean? It's actually pretty simple. It just means your washer tried to drain all the water out, but the water level didn't drop the way it was supposed to within, about 7 to 10 minutes. It's basically the machine's way of screaming, hey, something's blocking the exit. All right, here's our game plan. We'll quickly go over what causes this error in the first place, then we're going to jump right into the easiest and honestly the most likely fix. After that, we'll explore what to do if that doesn't quite cut it. And finally, we'll talk prevention and, of course, when it's just time to tag in a professional. Let's get started. First up, let's get to know our enemy, shall we? Understanding what you're up against is half the battle. And as you're about to see, the most common reasons for this error are, well, they're surprisingly simple. Now, just take a look at this chart. I want you to focus on that massive yellow slice. A full 50% of the time, half the time, this error is caused by nothing more than a simple clogged filter. You add in a clogged hose to that, and you're looking at 70% of all problems being just a blockage. This is fantastic news if you want to fix this yourself. And this, right here, is the part that should make you really happy. When you add up the clogged filter, the clogged hose, and just an improper installation, you realize that a staggering 80% of these OE errors can be fixed by you right now with no special parts and for exactly $0. It really is all about knowing where to look. So, since we like to play the odds, we are jumping straight to the number one solution, cleaning that little filter. I want you to think of this as your secret weapon against the OE error. This one single action is your highest probability path to getting your washer and your life back on track. Okay, here we go, the play-by-play. First, and this is important, unplug the machine. Then get some towels and a shallow pan ready. Next, open that little access door you'll find at the bottom front of your washer. Now for the crucial part. You're going to unscrew the filter cap, but do it slowly. Let that trapped water drain out into your pan. Once it's empty, pull the filter out and give it a really good cleaning under the sink. Oh, and before you put it back, just stick a finger in there and make sure that little fan, that's the impeller, spins freely. Then just screw that cap back on nice and tight and you're done. So what are you actually looking for in there? Oh, you would be amazed. We're talking coins, hair ties that went rogue, runaway bra underwires, and of course the arch nemesis of every washing machine on the planet, a single tiny sock. These are the usual suspects that can stop your washer dead in its tracks. Okay, so you cleaned the filter, put it all back together, and the error is still there. Don't worry, don't throw in the towel just yet, we're not done. The next logical step is to see if the problem is just a little further down the line, maybe in the drain hose or with the pump itself. Now, before you start thinking you have a broken part, you have to check your installation. This is a huge, and I mean huge, issue that people overlook all the time. Just look at this diagram. Your drain hose needs to have a high loop. We're talking at least 32 inches off the floor, and it should not be shoved more than about 6 inches into the standpipe. If the hose is kinked or if it's pushed way too far down, it can create this weird siphon effect and trigger that OE error every single time. Let's just quickly look at this table again because it really drives the point home. See that cost column? Clogged filter, $0. Improper installation, $0. Even a clogged hose is usually free to fix. What that means is you can eliminate 80% of the potential causes before you even have to think about spending a single penny. All right, time for a quick diagnostic test you can do just with your ears. Start a drain and spin cycle on your machine and listen really close to the bottom. If you hear the pump making a humming or a buzzing sound, but no water is moving, that tells you the pump is getting power, but it's either still clogged up inside or it's just failed. But if you hear nothing at all, complete silence, that points to an electrical issue. Now, for those of you who are comfortable going a little deeper, and if you're not, that's totally fine, but if the pump is silent, the next step is to use a multimeter. You'd have to access the pump and test its connector to see if it's getting 120 volts when that drain cycle is running. If you're not getting any voltage, the problem is probably with the control board, not the pump itself.
Okay, let's say you fixed it. The water is draining, the error is gone. Fantastic. So, how do we make sure you never, ever have to do this again? Let's talk about prevention. A few super simple habits can mean long-term victory over that dreaded OE error.
This right here is your checklist for a happy washer. Number 1, and I mean number 1, clean that filter once a month. Seriously, it takes 2 minutes. And always, always check pockets for coins and keys. For small stuff like socks or delicates, use those little mesh garment bags. And maybe once a year, it's a good idea to give that drain hose a quick clean out. These simple steps are your absolute best defense. Now, as much as we all love a good DIY win, it's just as important to know when to put the tools down and pick up the phone. Let's talk about those moments when calling a professional is actually the smartest move you can make. And this chart really shows why you've put in all this effort. A DIY pump replacement might set you back about $100. A professional repair for the exact same job, that can easily hit $300, $400, even $500. Your hard work saves you a ton of cash, but it also helps you decide if a big repair is even worth it compared to just buying a new machine. So when should you make that call? Well, first off, if the machine is still under warranty, don't even think about it. Just use the warranty. If the fix requires taking the whole machine apart, or if you suspect a control board issue from your tests, or if you're seeing a bunch of other error codes popping up, yeah, it's time to let an expert take over.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, from super simple clogs to electrical tests, but if you remember only one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this next slide.
This is the bottom line. This is the whole thing right here. Before you do anything else, before you start to panic, before you even think about calling for service, clean the drain pump filter. It is the single most effective, highest probability, and completely free thing you can possibly do. A few minutes of your time can literally save you hundreds of dollars. So there you have it. That OE error is not a death sentence for your washing machine. It's usually just a little cry for help from a clogged filter. Now you have the knowledge, you have the game plan. So, are you ready to conquer this thing, save yourself some money, and officially become the hero of your laundry room?